Well, tonight we take you inside one of our state's most notorious cold cases, the 1991 disappearance and apparent murder of a little girl from Hickory Ridge. Armed with the case file from state police and aided by private investigators, Channel 7's Andrew Mobley goes searching for answers.
Someone had come into our little town and taken the little girl, and it was just traumatic.
On May 7th, 1991, the idyllic calm of Hickory Ridge was shattered when 9-year-old Christina Pipkin was found dead in a watery ditch roughly 3 miles outside of the small Arkansas town.
After that, the town looked almost like a ghost town. You did not go out after dark. To this day, there's not that many children play outside. Knowing that happened right here in our own little town, we wasn't safe. It did tear the heart out of the town. The people didn't act the same. They were too afraid.
It put everyone on edge in this type of community because we've never had any real crime. Nobody wanted their kids to go out and be out past dark.
The nightmare began when 3 days earlier on the evening of May 4th, Christina disappeared. The little girl had asked her parents if she could walk around the neighborhood and sell costume jewelry for a school fundraiser and left the house around 4:30 to 5 p.m. It would be the last time her family saw her alive. By the time the family was getting ready for dinner around 8 p.m., they had grown worried. Christina knew to be home before dark and had never been out alone that late before. Her parents began searching for her door to door. When they couldn't find her, a search was organized and townsfolk combed Hickory Ridge looking for Christina. By 9 p.m., her parents were convinced she must have been abducted. The Cross County Sheriff's Office was called in. The search ended abruptly 3 days later on May 7th, when a local man and his 2 young sons found Christina's body floating in Cow Lake Ditch by a bridge on Highway 42, nearly 4 miles outside of town.
We looked down from the bridge, and there she was against a little sapling tree, and she was floating back and forth, and we went down and checked, and that was her. I took a stick and kind of rolled her over to make sure. I wasn't sure it was her or a person, and her eyes was open.
Few believed it to be an accident. Christina could not swim and had no known reason to be that far out of town. The state medical examiner said that Christina had drowned. No other injuries were found in the autopsy. However, police believe she had been kidnapped and murdered and suggested she may have been smothered before being thrown in the water.
It was quite odd to me, that a kid that young would have been able to make it all the way out of town and to the ditch and drowned on accident. And there was some question about it could have been an accident, but I don't see that happening.
Many residents in this small community say they're now living with the uneasy feeling that Christina's killer could still be here, someone everyone knows. It's a troubling question for anyone.
State police got involved in the investigation and interviewed many townspeople, quite a few of whom had seen Christina walking around Hickory Ridge selling costume jewelry. She was last seen around the Bearcat grocery store around 6:30 p.m. Multiple children interviewed by police said they had seen a stranger in town driving a light blue car and skulking around the bank and grocery store on the day Christina went missing. Descriptions of the man varied, but most kids reported him as having long, messy dark hair and high cheekbones. Some said he frightened them. One child reported having seen a blue car slowly following Christina as she walked by the grocery store the day she disappeared. The child said Christina appeared to be shaking her head no at the driver. A cashier at the Bearcat grocery store police interviewed said that at 5:45 p.m. on May 4th, a stranger, a white male with long dark brown hair and a mustache driving a blue-gray car, came into the grocery store to buy cigarettes. The man appeared to have unsettled the cashier, who told police he stared at her. Police later created a composite drawing of him with her help. One of the suspects later developed, a man named Robbie Dale Tubbs from Pocahontas, appeared to match that sketch. In 1999, police arrested Robbie and charged him with capital murder. They first began to suspect Robbie's involvement after his wife, Sandra Tubbs, told them that while the authorities were still searching for Christina, Robbie had commented, quote, "They'll never find her. There's too many rice ditches around here for somebody to drown in. She's dead." Sandra said this comment had disturbed her. Sandra also suggested her husband was a pedophile and had had sex with a 12-year-old girl. Robbie himself eventually confirmed this to police, though he said the girl was 14 or 15 and had lied about her age. To this day, police believe Robbie murdered Christina and got away with it.
Evidence was suppressed out of the case, and it kept the state and the county from moving forward on it.
The main piece of evidence police had against Robbie was a strand of hair recovered from a vehicle he owned that may have come from Christina. However, at trial in 2000, it was discovered that the wrong hairs had been submitted for testing. The trial was halted to test the correct hair, but it was found to lack sufficient DNA to make a comparison to Christina. In addition to this, Sandra was unable to testify because years before the trial, she had been murdered in a botched burglary. Her initial statements to police were ruled inadmissible in court. The charges were dropped and Robbie walked free. Without their main suspect, the case has gone stone cold for police, but it's left deep scars on Christina's family, Hickory Ridge, and Robbie's own son, Robbie Tubbs Jr., whose family has not had contact with his father in years.
It's difficult growing up with people thinking that your father, got away with murder.
Amy has embarked on her own investigation to find the truth about Christina's death and get closure for her husband and Christina's family. She would like to prove her father-in-law's innocence.
I began to realize that there were better persons of interest that weren't looked at thoroughly.
Amy joined forces with private investigator Catherine Townsend, who produces the true crime podcast Hell and Gone. Their combined efforts have uncovered new information and renewed interest in the case.
I think that her podcast really brought a lot of attention to the case that otherwise never would have been given.
Amy, who has contact with Christina's family, is hopeful that one day the little girl's murder will be solved and they will get some sort of closure.
Every year on the anniversary, it's a painful reminder that they no longer have her. Every birthday, it's a reminder that she's no longer with them.
But police, who appear to believe the case largely died with the botched evidence against Robbie Tubbs Sr., are less hopeful. Cross County Sheriff David West says it's been a long time since any tips came in.
It's heart-wrenching not being able to hold someone accountable that does a heinous crime like this, and so we want to get the bad guy. We want to put him in jail. We want to make him pay for what he's done, and I'd love to make an arrest on it, but it's, as of right now, we're kind of at that stalemate.